Welcome to the Bad Movie Night podcast, covering the worst movies you've never seen. We hope you enjoy listening to Bad Movie Night podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bad Movie Night podcast. We are here on this beautiful, beautiful day to talk about a pretty sweet movie. How's everyone doing?
That's one word.
Yeah.
We are down quite
Sorry,
a few people.
AJ. There's like no.
Is there a delay?
Yeah, you're like, hello, is anybody listening?
Yeah, we're down quite a few people tonight, but you know what? I'm not going to let it get me down. It might get down other people, but we are here, and we're doing the best we can. Everyone's been sick a lot recently, and we're just trying to make ends
Sick of
meet,
this
so.
shit.
How are you two doing? How are you doing, Rebecca? What's new with you?
Hanging in there, nothing much.
Nothing much?
Yeah, getting ready for spooky season.
It's exciting. We are so
Yeah.
close to Halloween, and fall weather is kicking in now. I
Yes,
am
it
here for
is.
it.
It
Then
could stop
why-
raining anytime, but
Why is there Christmas stuff everywhere already?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Christmas starts as soon as, yeah.
I digress.
It never ends. It doesn't
Can we
really
just
end.
enjoy Halloween, spooky fall season?
yeah.
I'm here for Halloween all the time. That's the lifestyle, folks. Just Halloween all the time.
Okay. I can do
All
that.
right. Well, who do we have on? Do we have any cool people on? Oh, Sean is here
Sean's
tonight.
on.
What's up, Sean?
We got Sean. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sean.
Woo!
That's all we need.
I'm excited, actually.
Sean is all you need.
tonight. I'm excited to talk about this movie.
I think I'm excited to talk about it. I
Yeah.
just finished
I
watching
want
this.
someone to
The
explain
podcast
it.
is starting late because I finished watching it late.
Oh,
It's going to be fun to talk about, though.
It's all right. We're going to make the best of it.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to make the best of it. All right. Why don't we jump through? And I guess I'll do a premise-y thing.
Hey, AJ, what's this
Yeah.
movie about?
Well, thanks for asking, Rebecca. A girl travels to an island after the death of her father to find out why he is secretly funding this monastery. Lo does she hold, there's an ancient curse and past that will come back to haunt her
I'm blind.
in the 1993 horror movie that is Dark Waters.
I'm from London. Mummy.
Rated R for a lot of walking around.
So much walking around.
So much
So
walking
much.
around.
So much walking around.
So much walking around. Well,
got-
thanks, AJ. You did a great job.
Yeah.
I did. Thank you. Thank you.
Did you like my giallo music I was making there?
That was good. It
I
helped.
hope it
I
wasn't
thought-
too loud.
I thought you were the old lady.
Oh, man.
It's pretty close.
It was pretty close. It was pretty badass.
Yeah, she was
Oh,
badass.
All right.
Oh man.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to try a history hole? You up for it?
I will
wanna
give
wing
this
it?
thing a shot.
All right. Off to
You
the
ready?
history hole.
All right, here we go. History hole. All right, we have Dark Waters. Pretty cool cover.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It makes it seem more modern than the film feels, though.
Yeah.
You know?
That's fair.
Yeah, that looks like
Yeah.
it's from
I was
the
trying to find an older cover.
mid-2000s or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to see if they had any other ones too. I didn't look very hard, but I thought it was really cool, though. I like the art there. This whole film in general, just the art part of it, we'll talk about for sure.
Yeah.
It was written and directed by Mariano Baino, and it was released in 1993. First in Russia on December 29th, 1993. Happy New Year. Here's some dark-watered nuns. So some other movies from December 1993. We have Wayne's World 2.
Excellent.
Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit. Beethoven's Second.
Jeez.
Lots of seconds. The Pelican Brief. What's eating Gilbert's grape? Philadelphia. Grumpy Old Men. Tombstone. One of my personal favorites. Ghost in the Machine. And most importantly, hearkening back to way back in the podcast history. This was a running joke for some reason. I don't remember why, but Schindler's List.
God. So dark.
Yeah, it was very dark. Yeah, much like this movie.
Yeah.
So I couldn't find anything really about like budget or anything of that nature. There really isn't a ton of information about that. It had a cool tagline though. Sometimes evil lurks where you least expect it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, it's so broad in general.
In the dark.
Exactly. Sometimes there's evil things in evil places. In evilness.
Sometimes
It's like the first line of your script. You don't know what you're writing.
I know. It was the best of times. It was the most evil of times. You can have a lot of fun with that, actually. Yeah. So our director, Mariano Bueno, directed this and wrote this film. He has quite a few writing credits for things like Resurrected, Fanta Festival 2019, Fanta Festival, I don't know. Hidden 3D, Thy Kingdom Come, Never Ever After, Caruncula and Dream Car. Caruncula, maybe? It's like a vampire car.
That's
it's
cool.
a short. I kind of want to watch that if that's true. It has no information about it. Perfect.
Going in blind.
Going in blind, much like the nuns in this movie. Oh, shit. Okay, so he also directed a few pieces of film. A Moving Reed, which is a short. The Trinity of Darkness. Yeah, mostly shorts. This is like one of two feature-length films that he did.
He apparently he works in a lot of different mediums besides just filmmaking.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But this he's definitely inspired by the 70s giallo for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, he's Italian, so I guess it makes sense.
It does make sense. Who wouldn't be inspired by that? Our co-writer is also only known for writing this and editing a film called Kara. So these are seemingly nobodies in a sense, right? They're not
prolific.
They're not prolific.
I know he's he was attached to the Montreal Fantastic Film Festival.
Okay.
He's like, this film specifically had played there at one point way back. I also thought, I don't remember, but I thought I read about this movie being like a lost horror movie at some point, but maybe not. Maybe just because a director's cut resurfaced later or something like that.
There was a director's cut. I did find that. It's apparently a shorter version of the film. It's like 7 minutes shorter.
Okay.
I did not obviously did not watch it, so I don't know what specifically has changed. But there is a director's cut of the film.
Cool.
The cinematographer for this, who should definitely get some credit, is Alex Howe. Mostly known for visual effects and kind of camera and electrical department credits. He's been involved with things like Last Night in Soho, F9, The Fast Saga, which is Fast and Furious, Tom and Jerry, Letter for the King, Four Weddings and a Funeral TV miniseries, a bunch of Fast and Furious movies, Aladdin most recently there.
Oh, wow.
Mary Poppins Returns. This guy's been involved in a lot of like big films.
That's interesting.
So I think even though he's not maybe a cinematographer at that level, he definitely has had enough exposure to have some experience.
Yeah.
And that pays off for this seemingly low budget film.
Yeah, big time.
Beyond that, let's see. We have our music by Igor Clark.
Something.
Or Igor, only known for this film.
Even those two notes. Yeah. There was some cool music at times, though.
There was some really cool music at times. And honestly, it's going for the same style that a lot of those older movies have. That can be piercing, early synth that is very dissonant and warbly distorted, and it's awful. But it sure as hell imparts a feeling or a mood to the film.
There is a tone.
It adds a tone for sure. So I'll give it that. Even if it makes me want to stab out my earballs with spoons.
It is stabbing out your earballs.
It's trying to. Yeah. We have some pretty great special effects at times in this. Later in the film, I'm trying to see. The special effects were by Richard Field and David Munden. So Richard Field and David Munden. Richard Field is only known for this.
Okay.
David Munden has done some stuff for Wrath of the Titans from 2012, Isolation in 2005, Revenge of Billy the Kid in 1991.
Okay.
So I don't know who's pulling the weight with the special effects here. Either that or these guys are missing out on, something they're pretty good at.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't recognize any of the any of the actors in this film. I don't know if we really want to get into them. I don't know that any of them are that
I don't think
well
a lot of them
known.
are
I
Or
don't
at
think
least
there
not
was
to me.
anybody that was that
Yeah, the actress that
memorable
played
or-
Elizabeth Lewis Salter, she's not really, this is like what she's known for.
This type of film.
Yeah, she is in Interview with the Vampire as just
Was
like
she?
a
Oh,
random
she was.
vampire
I
in
remember.
Paris. But she's not in a lot of stuff. Yeah, only a few movies. So that's interesting.
This looks like this was her first role as Dark Waters.
Yeah, and then she did a movie Shadowheart in 2009, and then there's not really much past that point.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder.
He had an interesting look, for sure.
Definitely was a good
Yeah.
good fit for the movie, for the role.
Yeah.
I thought that she was well cast. Honestly, I didn't have any major issues with that. So I think that's all I really have to talk about for the history
Alright.
part of this film.
No worries.
We want to move on.
Yeah, I
We
want
need
to
we need Patreon, AJ.
Patreon.
We need some
Gonna
music.
transition Patreon.
How do we get the music going?
Join the Patreon.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
What,
Transition.
I have to generate it, or what is it doing? There we go. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chillin'. Patreon.
Gotta be a Patreon.
$2 a month. You're gonna get some stuff.
Get that stuff. Patreon.
If you pay us some money, we'll
$2 a
make
month.
better
Page.
in between
Patreon.
videos. We'll make better bumpers, maybe.
Page.
Maybe.
Patreon.
That $2 will get me a coffee.
$2. And no, where? What? Where you
Yeah.
getting to coffee? Ain't
Where'd you
nobody
go?
getting coffee for $2.
All right, that's enough.
All right.
so terrible.
Sorry.
I have like notes next to me to like make new bumpers, and I
And you
can't.
don't see it until
like,
the next episode.
I have like music and stuff I could make stuff with. I should just put some stuff together. It'd be fun.
That would be awesome.
I gotta get on it. Well, thanks, Aaron. I really appreciate the time
You're welcome.
saving us there of that history.
I tried.
I would love to
Not very
hear
much.
what both of you think of this movie. Rebecca, what did you think of The Dark Waters?
So it definitely had some interesting parts to it, interesting pieces to it, but it was just so hard to follow and understand what was happening and why it was happening. So like we stopped it with maybe a half hour to go and then came back to it a few hours later, and I was like, I don't remember what happened before, but I don't think it would have helped me if I did.
Okay.
I mean, there were some interesting things happening, but I don't think it was enough to make up for how kind of convoluted it was.
Yeah. Did you watch this? Where'd you watch this on? Did you watch it on Tubi?
I watched it on Tubi.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Aaron, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously they're going for the 70s-ish giallo style, and I think they nailed kind of the tone, the look of that in a early 90s film. I thought that was pretty impressive that they were able to capture that really well. The music, the look was great. The setting was cool. I don't know where they found these places to film, but
yeah.
but that part was
that
impressive.
island was
Yeah.
interesting.
It was really interesting. It did miss some of the kind of crazy, over-the-top zaniness of some of those films, especially the ones that are maybe less giallo-leaning, but just more 70s Italian horror films, which you have usually some craziness going on. This was a little bit more serious than some of that, I think. I can't say that I truly understood what was happening. I don't know what's happening, but I liked the effects at the end. I thought that was really cool. Again, it was made well. I just don't. I know I'm tired too, so I don't know if I was giving it a fair shot. But it seemed to be just kind of a little bit of a slog at times.
Yeah.
Wasn't necessarily holding my interest, which is probably why I have no idea what it's about. How about
Fair
you,
enough.
AJ?
Yeah, Dark Waters. I Interesting enough, this at one point was on Prime, I believe, back in like COVID, because I remember starting this movie. Like I watched the first 20 minutes of it, and I think it has another name besides Dark Waters, like Still Water or Dead Water or something like that. But I was like, this looks so familiar to me when I was watching this movie. I was like, it drove me crazy. I was like, yeah, I definitely saw this movie before, or at least part of it. Generally, yeah, the atmosphere and mood is like top tier. It looks amazing for a 90s movie. You're going to get like 90s movie feel and look with this. To impressive level, considering this is like a low budget movie.
Well, you've got like, it looks like film grain. So
yeah.
did they actually film this on?
Rain, like rain
yeah.
constantly, rain machines. It kind of had this like, I felt like a really Cthulhu vibe of like, you're going to this island and like there's weird stuff happening and you're cut off from everything else. And the beginning is just this adventure trying to get to the island, with the crazy boat captain. I loved all of that.
Boat captain's great. We had Smeagol or Gollum on the boat as well.
The problem is, like you said, when you get to the island, the story does get confusing, and the movie slogs a little bit within that. But there were moments that I really liked about it that felt really Italian. Like I got House of the Laughing Windows vibes of just like this painter making stuff before he sees it. Lots of mysticism. It's just, which I thought was really interesting. There's even like, there's a lot of Dario Argento inspiration in here too, and like characters wondering their death kind of thing. But there is so much happening and so little story, and it is confusing. You're kind of trying to piece together this whole storyline, and yeah, I think that's where it kind of fails. The end was also, I think, going to be a real disappointment for most people. You're expecting this big creature kind of reveal, which you get, but you get like a disappointing
You just get a
end.
peek.
Just a peek. And I think that's probably budget limitations, talent limitations, maybe.
And I think
but
that's
it's hard
when
it's building up to that.
I wanted more of that.
I wanted, and it felt like it was going to be an insane ending, and it wasn't. And I think that's where
it was going to burst
down.
Through that wall.
Yeah,
but it just kept breathing behind it.
Yeah, and there's going to be some kind of crazy fight or whatever. But you didn't get that, so I think that's where people are going to have the hardest part with this movie is it's a letdown at the end. But ultimately, I did like this. I thought it was really strange and weird. I had never really heard of it before, and I really like the atmosphere and mood. I just think it is confusing.
I do hope
it's a slow burn.
Sorry, I do hope we watch the right film, because there are quite a few films named like Dark Water, Dark Waters.
We watched what the trailer was.
Yeah, so that's good.
So.
Yeah, that's all right. I prefer this over the Jennifer Connelly one, honestly. So
yeah, I don't remember much of that one either. That was a very different film, but
so just like talking through a little bit, we're gonna dive into about the storyline.
Wait, hold on. I got a video from Spiv from this. He's at a concert right now. He wanted to tell us how he felt about the film.
Okay,
perfect.
So I can go ahead and play that video from him.
I would love to see this.
And Jinx, we just started, so you're good.
I thought the movie had a lot of style, but no substance. It got really boring, really fast, and the ending made no sense at all. Why did the one sister turn blind?
Thank you, Spiv.
Oh, thanks, Spiff. I guess you got caught out by the loud music there.
Yeah.
I love living vicariously through your exciting life every time you're not on the pod. You're doing something so cool.
Where
it's
are you
just
going
like
to come
goes to work
way better than us.
All day Wednesday, and then goes to a death metal concert on Wednesday.
I
when
wish
they're
I
in the
could.
40s. I'm too old for that. I would be feeling
going to be
awful
at work tomorrow?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about this
Anyways,
movie.
sorry.
So what I gathered is our main character,
Elizabeth.
her name, Elizabeth, thank you. We find out her father's is dead. Her family's dead, and her father's been paying checks to this monastery for years. So she goes through
years.
she
Was
goes through
that
to
long?
figure out why.
Yes.
When she was born, we know she was born there. We find that out, and she spent the first 7 years of her life there, but she doesn't remember anything. There comes to be a reveal that she was there until she was 7. We learned that she has a sister, twin sister, and they are somehow secretly connected to this ritual to resurrect a demon or the devil. And her being removed, I guess, has kept that ritual from coming to fruition, which I think part of the monastery is they're trying to protect that from happening.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know, because there's a scene where a nun takes this tablet at the beginning, and you think she's like going to use it to resurrect him. I don't know. There's so much
destroys
confusing
But
content.
she destroys it. So I think she's
she
trying
falls.
to prevent it from
So are there like
She's
two
pushed off the cliff by a demon wind.
a demon wind. That's a
Yeah.
death metal band that
But
Scott's
then-
seeing tonight.
Why would it do that when it's going to destroy the?
Well, that's what I mean. There's lots of confusing visuals I
Yeah.
wasn't understanding.
Yeah.
And then-
So what
yeah.
is the purpose of the amulet really?
The amulet. You need the amulet to bring this creature back to life, apparently.
So
Without
why do
the
we want to
amulet-
break it? Unless the nun, like you
Yeah.
said, maybe she was trying to bring it back,
Yeah,
and
well,
somebody else
that's-
prevented
yeah.
her from doing it.
Well, it's also interesting that Elizabeth travels to this island, and the head nun allows her to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So that also questions her, like, what was her intentions with that? Is she an evil nun that wants the devil to be risen? You know what I mean? If she knows
Well,
Elizabeth grew up
the
here.
nuns do seem pretty evil in this.
Wow.
Like there's a lot of like the ones that are carrying the burning crosses everywhere, and like
Yeah,
that's not
it's
a
pretty cool. It's
It
pretty
feels-
cool. That's what you're
It
trying to
feels
say.
more culty than anything.
Yeah.
I feel like if religion was like that, I'd be right on board. Yeah, just say burning crosses in the middle of the night sounds
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I mean, that does sound a lot more fun than
sounds
whatever.
very the
Sounds
South in the 1800s.
Oh, whoa! Not that kind of.
I don't know about that.
No, they're LED crosses. Don't worry about it. It's not real fire.
And it's interesting because she's a friend who there's a reveal that it is actually her sister, which she didn't know. But
Yeah,
she's kind of
Sarah.
like guided. Yeah, Sarah's kind
Sarah.
of
She's
trying to
very
protect her.
innocent and naive, maybe.
Yeah.
And she wears a burlap sack the entire movie, and it makes
Yes.
me so itchy to look at every
was for
single
living like
time.
that.
But there's a reason you learn. 'Cause she's
Yes, yeah,
burned
we find out why.
horrifically.
Horrifically burned, like everywhere.
But it's really interesting. So they let her like go anywhere she wants, basically, and everywhere she goes is like a mysterious room no one's ever been in, and she finds out secrets about the place. You know, it's like,
Freaking Hogwarts. She's like
Yeah.
wandering around, finding rooms nobody knew existed. Yeah.
I mean, that's the cool thing about this movie is the sets are unbelievable, and they feel like
They
real
are.
places. Like I feel like they were really on an island somewhere in some
it does
old
not
monastery.
feel like it's something they built. There's just too
Yeah.
much detail.
and it's
And
impressive.
It just looks really good.
There are some like early sequences where we get like some like scare shock kind of stuff, like where the guy on the cross and the blue smoke is revealed and like the two girls walk out. There's like some like strong imagery that they use to like hint at stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. I thought the paintings looked badass that guy was
That was
painting.
really cool.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Although apparently he'll eat you if you fall into the pit. I don't
Well,
know.
yeah, you just got to stay out of his pit. It's his painting pit.
I like that.
Stay
though.
out
That-
of it.
I like that stuff. That felt Big Trouble in Little China to me.
Kinda
it's
did.
yeah. Don't fall into the pit.
This movie's just dripping with style, though. Like
Yeah.
it just looks so good. And even though it is somewhat of a small film, really, because it's kind of, for the most part, one location, right? But it just looks, they just nailed the looks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The lighting's cool. Yeah. We do, so we meet a Mother Superior, the blind nun who's like
Yes.
4 billion years old.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
How old is she?
I said she
She
was
built the
300,
island by hand.
And Stefan's like, "Who are you talking about?" Like the lady back that he thought
was
I
pretty
meant the woman
terrifying.
on the left. He didn't even see the old lady.
Oh, wow.
He's
Where
like,
did they
"Oh,
find this old lady? Man, she was great. She was great casting.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely creepy.
I loved
Yeah.
her voice, whatever that was. Just like what people sound like
She
when they
says
get
you
too
can
old.
stay here." No thanks.
I'm good.
It was like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I mean, where's it go from there? So we have the boat ride, we get on the island,
Yeah.
we get introduced to the sister, to
Yeah, that
the
whole
other
setup
nuns.
was great.
But then where does it go from there that I'm really struggling to
Well,
remember?
her
kind of-
question is, why is my dad paying?
Yes.
Why should
Right.
I continue these payments now that he's gone? And like that's kind of her reason for staying. Like
She wants to
They-
know why.
they want to like show her, and she wants to research in
I
the
think it's a cool
library.
setup.
And
But so this is my question then. Was the dad trying to prevent this demon from coming?
I think
or trying to make it happen.
I think he was paying them off to keep her away from the island and not having her go back. Like the idea is like, I'll pay you all this money so my child never has to come back here. You don't come for her.
But why would she? Oh, so they don't come for her.
Well, we also learned that grandma's still alive on the island.
Yes.
Her grandmother still is living.
And that's the lady in the shack, right?
Yeah. Yeah, which is also a reveal. But she's killed instantly when you find out, which is awful.
Yeah.
Awful way she gets burned to death. Horribly.
Oh, yeah.
That was
because
abrupt.
the nuns throw the burning cross into her shack.
That was pretty horrific. And then she runs to the water and like, man, I was like...
But the water's gasoline, and
this movie is out of control. This movie's out of
and then
control.
she stays alive for so long. Just I don't know what she's
burning.
Cthulhu.
I think the problem is it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
But it is, I mean, it is cool. But
It is
you're
cool.
right. It doesn't make any sense.
I feel like if the mystery unraveled in like a sensical way, even a little bit more, because there's so much stuff that's like tethered. Like she keeps finding photos of herself everywhere. Like there's photos all over this fucking island. Everyone knows who she
photos
is.
of her mom, or
Why? Yeah, like what does that mean?
because even that man that's murdering people in his shack, like he had pictures of her and her mom.
Yeah.
Like
Openly murdering people,
Which
you
led
see.
me to think like she's gonna have some sort of special power or like something special about her. But I mean, she kind of does, but not really. I know. I just thought I thought that would be more impactful on the film. Like, there's a reason everybody was like, they had her pictures or they knew who she was.
Right.
Made such a big deal about it. We do have an attempt like on her life pretty early in the film, right? She's attacked by a nun, and the nun gets like flung out the window, right? So we have that multiple times.
And that's the question is like, why are some people trying to kill her and others are not? What's going on
right,
here?
like it's almost like there's two factions within the convent.
But that was not very clear.
No,
it's very ambiguous.
And how would that
might
work?
be intentional?
I mean, you're living in the same building, like you're not gonna last 20 years.
Yeah,
when you're openly willing to kill people,
and it's
like
loose. It's like as her sister says in the movie, like, I'm not even supposed to know about this room. Only a handful of people do. It's like, well, then how did you get it? How is it so easily to just stumble into these hidden spaces that no one's supposed to know about?
Here's
but
the
like
secret
30,
library.
Yeah, there's like 30
it's like a door placard,
worshipping.
like totally secret library.
And then the nuns are doing a lot of
the
this.
The key
like,
is under the mat.
And then there's like a sect of nuns doing crazy rituals at night with burning crosses and laying on the ground in the dirt.
Maybe it's a commentary on the how do I say this without being rude? Not questioning your beliefs or not digging too deep into things, right? You just follow, right? So they had no interest in finding more or digging into anything because their beliefs were very much, you know, I don't know if that's what they're trying to get at, but it just felt like, how did nobody else find this stuff?
And that's the question, like, I just don't understand. We get to, like, later in the movie, and she realizes that this is her sister, and they have, like, a pact, and the whole reason her sister's been going along with her, she wants to resurrect this creature that they tried to resurrect when she was younger and failed. Mm-hmm. And their destiny is to resurrect this evil thing.
So were those like visions, flashbacks, or just kind of just general visions that she was having with the little girls?
I think there were flashbacks.
Oh, I thought that was her.
That's her,
right?
And her mom is like horrified by the evil stuff she's doing, which plays into like she was an evil child of some descent. But then
was
also
that her
like,
fault, or was it something she was destined for, or pushed into? Or
that's what I didn't understand, because when we get to the end of the movie, they put this plaque back together with blood randomly, and then she comes under like a spell or something like that, and they start resurrecting when she knows she doesn't want to, like bring this demon into the world. It just doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. You know.
Yeah.
It's too thin, and you're left up to just like speculate to crazy extremes.
Yeah,
but it looks fucking awesome. Like that creature being resurrected was amazing. It was like coming through the wall. I was like, I am on board for this. This is insane.
So Sean did say, I remember the girl saying her dad asked her to never return to the island. I don't remember that part, but that adds a different twist to it then. So if he didn't want her to go there, I guess that's why you're saying he was paying
to keep
her away. I'm really confused by that.
That would be my guess. I don't know what
keep them from coming.
If it had it been like, you can't get your inheritance unless you follow these rules, but she's like, I really want to know what happened on this island, and was
maybe
like at
that was
odds
like
with that, but
maybe it was like a fee to leave.
It almost seems like she's supposed to continue the payments.
Yeah.
So like, of course, that's going to raise her curiosity.
Why, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird premise from that standpoint.
Yeah, I don't know. I did think it looked very cool. I just wish the story was a little more sound. You have amazing sets. You have people that fit these roles really well. And it's just, again, when we get into this situation with the story, it's just nonsensical.
I think they tried to make it too complicated. Like, they just need to pull some of the pieces out of it and focus on...
And I just want to know people's reasonings for doing the things they're doing. Like her sister, we don't really know why she's so desperately wants to do it. It's like, it's just not explained. You're just thrown into like assumptions, and I just need more detail, I think.
Yeah, I think the ambiguity can work if it's a thriller and it actually then hits a point where it becomes clear, right? Lots of movies are great because they are so ambiguous, and then, you know, bam, like the reveal, and you're like, oh, now it all makes sense, and then you watch it like 3 more times, and you're like, oh, what about that? This doesn't feel like that kind of movie where there's this reveal at the end that makes it all clear.
I don't think it'll make more sense if you watch it
I think if you watch this again, it would make less sense.
That's true. I think that's part of the problem. But it looked awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed watching it, even though it didn't make sense, because a lot of the old Italian movies don't make sense. You know, they're just visual feasts. And this one very much was like a visual feast, which I enjoyed. Like, they went through great lengths of, like, making this creature, and the lighting in these spaces looked amazing. The sets were unbelievable. I'm just like, I couldn't imagine what it would take to set up, 15 nuns on a cliffside with burning crosses. You know what I mean? It looked great. It looked awesome. And then the rain. There's so much rain. They must have had tons of rain machines going all the time.
I wanted to know where they filmed it, because it just says it's filmed in Russia, Ukraine, Italy, and United Kingdom. But like it didn't specify any particular locations, because they had to shoot this on location, right? I mean, a lot of this.
Yeah, I'd assume. So. I mean, you had like the beginning water scene where the guy goes underwater. Maybe that was like in a tank or something. Yeah,
that would probably be on a soundstage. Yeah,
it does feel like they went to Italy and found a really great
a little
space
island with a little village on it.
Yeah, I was really curious about this movie. Like, I ultimately I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was quite a bad movie. It just looked too good, and I wasn't super bored. It meandered, the story, and there wasn't a lot of sense, but it was still cool.
I think that hits on the biggest problem is because the visuals are so good, it really makes you frustrated with some of the plot or lack thereof, or just the clarity of it.
It could be so much better.
Yeah.
I think that's
like right there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do some little reading here, just on what was the. They begin the ritual just as they had as children. The pieces of the shattered amulet are placed on the ground by the nun, right? And they make it into a human sacrifice. Drops of blood restores the broken amulet.
Like, when I'm
Demon
hearing,
mother comes.
It's real atmospheric, but confusing film with a bad ending.
Oh wait,
that's
that was
what we
her
watched.
mother?
Yeah, the demon was their mother. And then they shatter the amulet again, and we're right back to kind of where we started.
And I just feel like that's a huge loss. Like, the demon should have came forward. Some people should get ripped apart at the very least. We could have had like killing everything.
All we get is the demon absorbing Sarah.
Yeah, it's a terrible way to end your movie, man. You can't do that. You can't do that.
You could have had a good 10 minutes of the demon. Trancing around in the monastery here,
or something.
Or whatever, not a monastery, but whatever the hell it's called.
Convent.
Yeah, you got to do something with that. You can't just end your movie in 2
I think a lot of that was budget limitations, most likely. And then Elizabeth joins the convent, and she's wearing a necklace made of fragments. So she's now part of it, and she's blind too, right? Isn't she blind? Or she has...
I think so.
Yeah, and I think wasn't there a reason for them being blind? Like, as part of the movie, was the creature blinded them or something? I was trying to figure that out.
So in the beginning, there aren't they? There's some Bible verses or something. They're reading in the beginning, the narrator, or something about how you'll be blind once your eyes are cast upon the demon. I forget what verses were, but in the very beginning of the film there, we get some of that, which is, I think, trying to explain it, but I don't know that it really makes it all that clear, other than it just looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It would have been cool if there was a reasoning, like maybe the creature blinds you or something, and then that all of a sudden makes sense why there's blind people all over the fucking island. You know what I mean?
Or like you look upon the demon and...
Yeah.
So I can give you maybe a little production information. The film was originally based on a short story by Andy Bark. It's inspired by a childhood visit to the Staithes in North Yorkshire. I don't know what that is.
Well, that's in the UK. I wonder if it's
a little village in North Yorkshire, England. It looks a lot like kind of like the town that you'd expect. Yeah. So he wrote about it, about that. Many years later, he worked as editor on Mariano's film Carnuncula. And he mentioned that he's working on a script called Dark Waters, and he and Mario began to work on it together.
Okay.
Films was probably one of the first Western films to be shot in Ukraine following the collapse of the Soviet Union.
That's interesting.
And was a difficult and troubled one. The system there created many problems. Obviously, that was a rough time. But provided spectacular yet cheap sets and locations. Hell yes, it did. They were beautiful. That they could never get in the UK. The political situation, really caused issues with production. In the early days, when they were trying to seek finance for the film, a coup attempt that saw tanks on the streets of Moscow could not really help matters. There was a lot going on politically at the time. They're trying to film in Ukraine and get money to film there. So there was another coup at the end of filming when Mariano, who was in Moscow for dubbing, was awoken by gunfire. So like this whole film was, a lot going on.
I wonder if that adds to like the choppiness of it. If they had big pauses
in filming,
and so getting that kind of flow wasn't as easy.
Yeah. I mean, I will credit them. None of these people have a ton of credits, and they were able to pull off a very D'Argento-esque looking movie that had the feel.
Yeah.
It was just missing some of the refinement. I would have liked to have seen them make another one with a little more time, maybe a little less issues with.
Yeah. Maybe a little more budget.
Yeah,
a little more budget. I think they could have pulled off something pretty special. It's a weird time to make this type of film, though. Early 90s, going for a sort of giallo film feel.
Yeah, truly.
I don't know.
A lot of inspiration. And I think that's what I liked about it the most. It's just like a lot of the Italian filmmaker directors came through in this in just like awesome ways.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Anything else we want to talk about? The dark waters of the water. Would you go to Creepy Island, Rebecca or Aaron?
Hell yes.
Especially if you
want to go there.
Would you go if you found out your parents were sending checks after they died? Huge amounts of your inheritance.
Now you have to send checks.
Where's that money
What's
going?
going on?
Why are you cashing thousands of dollars to a monastery in Italy?
For 20 years.
I mean,
for 20 years.
Yeah, it would make you want to go, right? You would want to know what's going on there.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you find out you have a whole nother family or something.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I guess we'll transition, right?
Would we recommend?
Yeah. Would we recommend? Rebecca, would you recommend The Dark Waters?
I think I am. Even though it is confusing, it does have... You can tell there was a lot of effort put in, and there was a lot of care in what they were doing, and I think it is worth it, even though you're not going to know what's happening or why, but it's okay. You don't have to.
How about you, Aaron?
Yeah, I think Rebecca nailed it there. I don't want to crap on this film because I think there was a lot of effort and a lot of talent that put into this. I'm just struggling with the plot, and it could just be my brain, but I don't think it was all that clear. I would recommend it if you're a fan of Italian horror movies, giallo, of anything really like that. I think you'd at least appreciate it for what it was. But I wouldn't say that this was a great movie. if we're talking about the film as a whole.
Yeah.
But man, the look of it and tone was fantastic.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, it's interesting too because this is like early '90s, so right at that time we were getting like, these great horror movies from the '90s. You know, it's a good time for those type of movies, and it looks and feels that way. It has great atmosphere, great environment, lots of mystery, but again, the payoff does not deliver, and I think that's really where it falls flat and why it gets bad reviews and ratings online. It's not because it doesn't look amazing or has a lot of character to it. It does. I'd say if you like Italian movies and like you like the Mario Bavas and the Dario Argentos, it might be worth checking out. But ultimately, yeah, it's not amazing. It does have some cool stuff, but is it a reason enough to watch it? That's up to you.
Yeah.
All right, there you go, folks. Do we have
We do
a
have a
game for
game.
tonight?
You do?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. It's game time, baby.
Game.
Game time, baby.
Your theories are the worst kind of upright. Your methods are sloppy, and your conclusions are highly questionable. Shall we play?
Nice.
Whoa,
Yeah,
blindness.
we're gonna talk about some blindness tonight.
All right.
Get ready. What % of blind people can't see anything?
10%. That's my chair. We're not playing car fart. That is my chair squeaking.
80%.
Sorry.
80%. I'm going higher.
It is about 12%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Everyone else, it's like some light, some
Yeah.
motion.
Okay. That's interesting.
People who are blind often have an increase in which other sense?
Oh, clearly smell.
Hearing.
Yeah, hearing. I've seen that movie with Val Kilmer. Hearing.
Smell, you were right.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Really? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, they
It's not
said
very helpful, though.
Yeah.
I guess they can tell, like, how close they are. Like,
Wow, that's
The-
wild.
they heighten the aroma so they can smell, like, things that are around them.
That's crazy.
Interesting.
I don't know. I feel like I have a heightened sense of smell. I can smell
Yeah.
things, but it's interesting because I can't hear things. So it's not.
Yeah, it's a
because I'm
trade-off,
blind.
right? Like your superpowers.
Yeah. What % of blind people use canes to get around?
I feel like a high percent because I often see people with them.
24%.
I guess it depends on the degree of your vision issues. Yeah,
It's such a wide range.
I'm going to say 50%.
It is only 2%.
Wow, really?
So those that are truly
Yeah.
blind, like no vision at
that's
all, or is
interesting.
it just it's a matter
Well,
of
it's
personal?
a preference thing.
Yeah.
They said like a lot of times if someone's really
Man.
like really can't see anything, that's where the guide dogs will come
Yeah.
in. Like the cane
sense.
isn't enough. They need
Right.
the dog to help them, or a person, or other. But the cane is, I think, overused in movies and TV shows because
Yeah.
it's easy to show
show,
that a
right.
person's blind.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives that.
That visual.
False.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of people that I've met that are blind that actually use a cane regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
What % of the world's blindness could be prevented?
Ooh, gosh. Oh, this is gonna be sad.
75%.
80%.
80%.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
A lot of it is diabetes.
Interesting.
Yeah. What mental health disorder does not affect blind people? Depression, schizophrenia, bipolar
Schizophrenia.
disorder, or dissociative disorder?
I don't know. I guess, is schizophrenia, really?
It is schizophrenia. There is not a single case in any blind person ever.
That's so crazy.
So then I wonder if you have schizophrenia and you go blind, does it go away?
Possibly.
Maybe.
But it
That'd
shows
be
you like the
a cure
hallucinations
for
and the
schizophrenia.
Visual connection
the
to
paranoia
that,
comes from stimuli body just
Well,
can't,
you
your
can
brain
hear
can't
voices.
handle or something, you know?
can hear
Yeah.
voices,
Yeah, I
right?
don't
That's part
know.
of schizophrenia.
But like,
It's like a
blind
processing
people
issue that
still
needs
dream and have nightmares, and
Yeah.
so you'd think they would still be able to hallucinate
Yeah, but it's because their brain,
But-
I just wonder if it's their brain isn't processing any
Some
real visual
connection
information
isn't-
that
Interesting.
that's so weird.
Yeah. How many weeks does a puppy go through training to be a guide dog?
Ooh, a
A
lot.
lot. 30
Yeah.
weeks?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
If not
It's gotta be
longer.
high. You have to go through like a couple years. of
32 weeks.
training a dog, right?
It is about 20 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're like really young when they
Yeah.
start them
They're
out.
probably best to do it that way.
Yeah.
Well, then some of them fell out of the programs too that they have for them.
Sure. You have to have the right personality and temperament and everything.
Yeah. Can't be too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really
Nice job.
informal. I feel like I learned a lot. Thanks. For
Yeah.
that. Great game. Thanks for doing a game.
Good thing.
So reliable. All right. Well, I guess we can move on to listener feedback. Does anyone want to read the listener feedback for us tonight? Do we have any volunteers?
I can
don't
do
know
it.
how
Do you
to-
mind? All right.
Let me find. I
appreciate
just
that,
gotta
man.
find it. Okay.
Yeah, take a moment.
This is very polite episode.
Wow. We don't have a jerk
Nobody's
running
yelling
the
at each
show.
other. There's no
Yeah.
screaming.
No,
There's
We don't
after
have a
you.
dictator
You
on the
go.
other end. That's because all the nice people are here and
all the nice
jerks
people.
are gone.
Okay, so last week we watched Challenge of the Tiger from 1980. This was a kick punch Bruce Lee film. So, Jinx 3D LV205 says, great podcast as always. Seem calmer and more civilized somehow. Wait till you get to this week. What could have been different?
Yeah.
Mike DeRosier says, not sure if this movie of the year, but the tennis match at the beginning was probably the most exciting tennis match ever.
Exciting, all right.
Yep, at Dylan G 51. Funniest moment of the week. The crew tripping over the absurd names of the movie. Dick Cannon for the win. It also made me chuckle when Spiv mispronounced my screen name. Lol.
Oof.
Get ready for it again this week because I don't know how to read screen names. Sean Cavender very kindly posted timestamps for our little crappy podcast, and I appreciate him doing that. As always, Sean is vying for Patreon of the year. Yep.
Just of all time.
Yep. He did add, though, he wants to give proper credit to Ian Whittle and his review of this movie at the website City on Fire for his research into the true release year. That's because Sean had given us some information about when he thought this was actually released. So he's giving credit to Ian Whittle. It was Ian who pointed out that the event in Macau, is that what we were pronouncing that? Macau. Took place in 1982. So IMDb's 1980 release year had to be incorrect. He's also Patreon Sleuth of the Year, too. James Green, 6846 says, alternate title. God, I love that people are still doing this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I do miss doing those. I just got sick of everybody saying how much of a pervert
It was all just boobs. Boobs of the dragon.
Call it as I see it. Alternate title should be Challenge of Tiger Blood. True story. Charlie Sheen time in the CIA.
Oh, God.
That's pretty good, yeah. Boy, it did. That's a good descriptor of that movie. That wraps up your I almost said customer feedback, but yeah, our
Along the
customer
same lines.
feedback. Yeah.
Yeah, good customer feedback. We
Yeah.
appreciate that, folks.
Yes, thank
If you have emails you want us to read, make sure to leave them in the YouTube comments section of every week's video for each podcast as we post. So if you want to comment about this movie, leave it in the comments of this movie on YouTube.
And please keep creating alternate titles because that's just great. I love it.
Yeah, let's keep it going. And let us know what you think about Chris and him not showing up tonight. All right.
There we go. Ending on a mean note.
So I guess we're off to the wheel next, right?
We are off to the wheel.
Which we have. Thanks to Sean for doing amazing work putting the
Yeah,
wheel.
nice job.
Oh, wait. Did it load it? Oh, gosh.
You gotta click
no.
on. You gotta click on the actual link.
Oh. Stop
Oh
sharing.
no, they're seeing the
Slack.
special
I shared
sauce.
the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I had it up.
But you
And then
too
I
could
closed it.
view the Slack if you
Oh,
were
here we
Patreon.
go. All right, here we go, folks. We're going to spin big. All right, we got some good
Big.
stuff on
Look
here.
at all these ads.
We got trucks on
Good
here.
Lord, man.
We got
Wow.
lace.
What happens if we land on
An ad? I guess we sign up for SoundCloud.
Let's just spin again if we land on fingernails because we have to catch up on some of these Patreon movies. It's
fair.
almost October, guys. We got a bunch to get through yet.
Yeah,
so.
I feel
Let's do it.
okay with that.
Okay.
Let's do this. Big money.
Big bucks, no whammies.
We got it.
an actual movie. What does that
Tall, hot blonde.
Oh my god.
Is this a Lifetimes type movie?
I have no idea.
Gotta find
I
a
don't know.
trailer.
Whose is this? Yeah, could you mind pulling the trailer? Tall, hot, blonde. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of stuff pulling that up.
Yeah. Movie.
Official
Add
trailer.
movie. Well, even if you add movie, I feel like that's not.
Not very helpful.
Wait, that's this documentary?
This is Deva's pick.
From 2012.
Oh, it's Tall Hot Blonde with no L, all one word.
Yes.
T-A-L-H-O-T.
Tall, hot, blonde.
That's a
With
guy
no
with a
E
shotgun.
on blonde.
Yeah.
What is this shit? Okay, hold on.
I hope we can find it streaming.
I'm trying to find because I'm seeing trailers for a documentary.
TV movie 2012.
It was a TV movie.
It's 2012. Here it is. It's on Tubi.
You got the trailer? Wait, I got one. I think
you got a trailer. I don't think I have a trailer.
I think I've got a trailer.
Why is it playing an ad?
Classic.
All right, you go ahead.
Hold on, let me double check.
See if you can share it. Yeah, make sure it's
I got
the appropriate.
I got a
movie.
political ad first. Oh no, that's the documentary.
It's the documentary from 29. Yeah.
All right, we're having a problem pulling this.
2012.
Oh wait, maybe I got it from IMDb. Here.
Is it an action movie? You got it?
Hang on, I got an ad first.
I'm so confused.
The time of year, we're just getting political ads left and right here. Yeah, that looks like it's the
Wait,
movie.
I think I got it.
Yeah, I think you got it too.
All right,
Hang
cool.
on.
All right.
Let me
You want to share it?
share with audio. This one, go.
All right, folks. Let's check this thing out. Let's check.
Oh,
wait.
It's not showing.
Oh, wait.
There we go.
As of this day, Thomas Montgomery, 47 years old, ceases to exist. He's replaced by a 20-year-old battle-scarred Marine. He is strong, good-looking, and battle-hardened. He's a great lover. And he's moving to Indiana to be with the love of his life.
So beautiful.
Maybe he's having an affair. I'd do a little detective work the next time I was home alone.
I love my time with you.
I love you, Tommy.
I can't stop thinking about you since you sent that package.
What's up with that tall hot blonde, huh?
They just chatting, you know?
It's crazy how
chatting.
much we have in common.
Oh,
seen him?
no.
He doesn't love you!
This looks pretty good.
Stop it, Thomas. I've read
That's
it
pretty
all.
good.
I love the overacting.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
You will regret it.
You will regret it.
That's a bitch.
Dude.
Shit.
Wow.
You think you're the only one that lied about themselves on the internet?
Oh my god.
This
All
is
right.
gonna be fun. It's
Wow.
different.
Yeah, it's on Tubi, folks. It looks unhinged. We're in for a good time. I think we're back in some bad TV drama here. I'm excited for it.
Dude, him chucking the laptop into the little pond there.
Yeah, we really can't complain. We've been on like a pretty good streak here of like decent movies. We haven't been watching anything where we feel awful. So I'm excited about it. Let's keep it going, folks.
Yeah.
Keep it going. All right. Let's do it. Cool. So, I guess we'll see everyone here next week. Please sign up for the Patreon.
Yeah, get your film on the wheel. BMNEs are coming up in a couple months.
That's right.
2 months.
Weeks.
October's around the
You
corner.
still might
too.
have some time to get your movie on the wheel, and then it might be the movie of the
Get
year.
it in the running.
There you go, folks.
Just make it about planes for AJ. Plane
Please.
movie.
Planes.
Yep.
All right, everyone.
T-Rex on an airplane.
Until next time, have a good night.
Bye.
See ya.
Thanks for listening listening to the Bad Movie Night Podcast. The Bad Movie Night.